Have you ever wondered what the trucks are like in Europe? I'm standing at the Grafenhausen Reststätte, which is a truck stop on the Autobahn in Germany, just south of Frankfurt. And we're looking at trucks that are from all over Europe. Like you got trucks coming through from Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, France, north, south, east, west, and they all seem to come through Germany because it's in the middle of Europe. I've noticed a lot of differences between the trucks here and the trucks in America. We should go look at them. Pretty cool stuff. Welcome to the Joy of Trucking. My name's Kevin. I'm a solo driver for CRETE Carrier. So here you can see a lot of things. We got a single drive axle with dual wheels. The fifth wheel is in front of the axle. Okay, and it looks like you've got holes on that rack, so it's a sliding fifth wheel. The handle for pulling or opening the fifth wheel latch is on the passenger side. All of ours are on the driver's side. Also, you can see the size of these fuel tanks. They're rectangular, like a big box, whereas ours are more like a barrel. Ours are cylindrical in shape, and ours are located farther forward, like under the sleeper. But this one, of course, has a very small sleeper. And I'm thinking this is the exhaust. This black thing on the left side, as you can see, it's connected to that fat cylinder there. That would be the DPS system for treating the exhaust. And then the pipe comes out from that side, goes toward the engine. But usually when you have exhaust like that on the back of an American truck, you can see a lot of soot, you know, like there's a darkened area around it. And this is really clean. It's white. You'd see if there's any dirt at all. And it's spotless back there. So their exhaust burns really clean. And also on the suspension, you can see a few different things here. Like that looks like an air tank located way here at the back. There's your airbags for the suspension. And then you've got this large bar here. We have a torsion bar, but it's lateral. Like here, you've got torsion bars there, but it looks like you've got an extra one on the back. And this guy has disc brakes on his drive axle on the rear. A lot of cool stuff. MAN. That's a German company, right? It makes machinery and so on, and they make big trucks. And look how close he's parked to this guy's trailer. The back end of this guy's truck is parked in the lane, and he squeezed his bobtail in there right next to it. Or maybe this guy backed up until he was only 6 inches away, right? But he's gonna have fun getting out of there without losing a mirror. Yikes. And this guy has dual wheels on the back. On the drives, the fifth wheel ahead of the drive axle, so the weight is more distributed over the whole tractor, not just over the axles. See the handles on the trailer for opening the door at the bottom. Pegs go right through to the top of the door inside it. And look, they all got a toolbox, some kind of storage box on the trailer. See this storage box here and a spare tire? Wheel chocks so you don't roll. There's another one. The exhaust is on the left. A big DPS tank right there under the bump. Kind of wide steer tires too. That's Citroen. Like
Renault. It's a
Renault.
It's
Yeah,
a
Renault from France.
Yeah.
All kind of trucks. But they're all cab overs. That's a double, right? One axle under the front. Oh, you know what? It doesn't have a fifth wheel. It's a box truck pulling a trailer. With only one axle on the truck. So that's the drive. And then two axles under that trailer. It's a pretty short trailer. The rule is the maximum length is 61.5 feet. So that's why they go with a shorter tractor, so they can still carry a pretty long trailer. But then the weight distribution has to be different. Your sleeper's going to be a lot smaller because it's a shorter truck. Our trucks are like 70 feet. So, but each axle on the trailer can carry 10 tons, right? So that's 30 tons, which is 60,000 pounds. And then the tractor drive axle is another 11.5, that's 22. These guys can actually carry, they're legal up to 88,000 pounds. Even though this truck is smaller than an American truck, it's legal to carry more weight than an American truck. We're limited at 80,000 pounds. Fascinating. So in addition to the shorter overall length of the truck, the height is a little lower too. These European trucks are only 13 feet high, and of course ours are 13.5 feet. Generally, the trailer length is shorter in itself. It's only like 44 feet, and most of our trailers are 53 feet. And you got a smaller sleeper, of course, with this cab over design in a shorter truck. The bunk's only about 27 inches wide. I noticed most of these tractors only have a single drive axle. The cab over also has a shorter turning radius because it's a shorter wheelbase, which is really handy in Europe with the smaller streets, tighter corners. But the cab over ride is generally not as smooth. It's also interesting to note the regulations are a little different. The semis can only run 55 miles per hour, even on these autobahns with really high speed limits. And they have tighter emission controls in Europe, so more pollution control. On our 53-foot trailers, the kingpin is only 3 feet from the front of the trailer. But on these, I noticed the kingpin is actually 6 feet from the front of the trailer. So you've got more of the trailer hanging over the tractor frame. And again, I think that gives you a tighter turning radius, more maneuverability, but it also puts more of the weight in the trailer on the tractor. I see a lot of soft sides on these trailers, like this one. It's sort of a cloth that they button down with a hard top though, so they must be loading from the sides quite a bit. And here's a car carrier. And I noticed they only carry 7 cars, where we can carry 9 on our car carriers. Also, the truck is a cab over, and the car carrier, it's always a low roof. So this guy has a low roof, a lower seating cab. He must have a lot of the engine up inside the cab to make it work. I noticed a lot of super singles instead of dual wheels on the drive and the trailer axles. Also, a lot of the trailers don't have skirts, but there's sort of a barricade down the side just ahead of the tandems, and I guess it's to block access underneath. Like you don't want people crawling under your trailer, or maybe even stop vehicles from getting under there. And the trailers do have reflective tape, but it's not uniform. Like we have our regulations. You got those L-shaped reflectors up at the top. And then you have the red and white tape that runs around the sides. But look at that yellow rectangle with the red border. Some of them are vertical, some of them are horizontal, some of the trailers don't even have them. One other thing I noticed was the license plates here. They all kind of look the same. And on the left end you have a blue rectangle, so they're all from the EU. But in there is a letter or two that will tell you what country the truck is registered in. Yeah, I'm surprised at some of these license plates I'm seeing, like countries like Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, down in Poland, Italy, France, Belgium, Netherlands. And Germany, of course. Got a big air tank back here. And that's strut. We don't have that. Look how wide the tires are too. That's wider than mine. See that? That's a huge tank. 2 of them. Those are really wide tires. They're almost like a super singles. Remember those?
Mm-hmm.
Can you see the numbers on it? Right here. Crank it on this side.
What is Iveco? Iveco is a very big company that makes trucks. And then go somewhere else, go home maybe, and then get it back on tonight or Monday morning.
Somebody just fired up. Maybe he's just getting more.
Walk behind me.
Oh,
I wonder what the L and the VI is.
and the license plates?
On the front. That's L and VI.
Oh, there's green stickers, yeah. This license plate. That truck's okay. Czech Republic. Well, we see a lot of different trucks here. I'm looking at a Volvo, that's from Sweden. The DAF is a Dutch company. And there's an MAN, that's a German company. And you know, of course, the Mercedes is a German company. And we saw a Renault, that's a French company. And Iveco is an Italian company. Now, it's worth noting, too, that the manufacturing doesn't necessarily take place where the headquarters is. These guys have factories all over the world in multiple countries, even China and India, South America, and Africa. And you notice this guy is backing up a long way to get to a parking spot. It seems the way the place is laid out, you would come up from the fuel lane and then take the right-hand lane so that if you see a parking spot, you can pull through. You don't have to back in. But once you're past that section, if you haven't found a parking spot, then you go almost to the on-ramp to get back on the Autobahn. And this guy noticed a parking spot, parallel parking along the curb, so he had to back all the way down to here, hundreds and hundreds of feet, to get to this spot. So another thing I noticed is these very large rectangular sort of boxy fuel tanks. And I believe they can hold anywhere from 100 to 290 gallons, depending on the specs of the truck. And I also see the landing gear crank is on the passenger side, just like the release handle for the fifth wheel. So you gotta get out of your truck and walk around to the passenger side to do those things. Now, some of these cabs have a green circle on the front, and there'll be letters inside them. So it's sort of a sticker. Some of them have an L or a VI. I can't figure out what that's for. Is that a designation for different fleets, or is that particular just to certain companies? Any of you European drivers watching out there, please let me know in the comments below. See the distance from the kingpin to the front of the trailer? I think it's a tiny bit longer on these ones because you don't have the sleeper. You can move the trailer farther toward the cab. So again, it shortens the overall truck but keeps a big trailer. It must be rough though. It must be a rough ride. You see this bottom? We have the whole air dam on the side of our trailers. I think that's just to keep people from getting underneath the security guard.
Route 66. Oh, this is where you put the paperwork.
Yeah. A lot of soft sides. Hey,
What do you think?
what I think a lot of things. I see a lot of differences. I have a lot of questions about the trucks. The fuel tanks look really big, and I can't see how you would check the fluid levels, like the oil and the windshield washer. Maybe the piece on the front below the windshield opens up somehow. You know, we gotta get inside one of these things. Yeah. Many questions. They're all switching to automatic transmissions here, just like in the States. because it's safer, it's simpler, you know, easier to drive. I didn't know that. I thought they were all still manuals. And they're all cab overs. I haven't seen one long nose truck yet. I see a lot of them are soft side, like cloth side on the trailer, like a Conestoga wagon, but it has a hard top and no clearance lights on the front of the trailer on the soft sided ones. There's a reefer with clearance lights. Different kinds: MAN, M-A-N, Scania, Mercedes-Benz, Volvo, Iveco, yeah. I have questions. The trailers and the drive axle are single tires instead of doubles, but they're pretty wide. I don't think they're as wide as a super single like we had on that trailer with Werner, but it's still wider than the American tires. So maybe that's why they can carry as much weight, right? The drive axle is good for 11.5 tons or 23,000 pounds, but it's only a single axle with 2 tires, that's it. And the trailers have 3 axles with single tires. Each axle is good for 10 tons or 20,000 pounds, so 30,000 on the trailer. And I don't think they're adjustable. They're not sliding tandems. Let's go look at one.
This thing.
That's a 20-foot sea container on a dolly. There's still 3 axles. That's a pretty nice truck. This is a DAF. Got a nice look. He's got a nice black truck with some chrome trim. And you see there's no mirror on the door. He's got a camera up there above the door on a post. So he's gonna have like a little monitor inside that shows the view, right? They got this mirror on the front of the truck in front of the windshield, so in case somebody's walking in front of the truck, you know they're there, right? You don't run them over. And the trailer matches. The trailer's only got 2 axles, so I wonder what he hauls. Maybe it's like a company truck. You know, like some guys drive just for furniture manufacturing. And it's dedicated to one set of cargo. Really nice.
We hope that you enjoyed our walk around this truck stop in Germany and seeing all the different European trucks. If you drive one of these, please put some details in the comments below. We've looked up some of the answers to questions that came up for us, and we tried to share that with our viewers. But if you drive one of these, please tell us more. How do you like the ride? Tell us specifically about your model and the kind of freight that you haul. We'd be very interested. And with that, we hope that everybody enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Put your comments and questions below. And what do you think? If you don't drive one of these, what do you think about seeing all these different trucks and how it compares to American trucks? And yeah, hey, if you like traveling with us and learning about trucking, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you down the road. With love from Kevin and Tanya. Bye.